Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Alibi podcast.
Episode 6.
Episode 6. Nice.
Today we find ourselves
at home
in our parents' basement.
That's right. This is where I live,
which
not
is
where Gabe lives. But
has been the birthplace of many great creative endeavors.
It's a lot of things. Yeah, we've done a lot here. For sure.
Us and many others in parents' basements.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, elephant in the room. We're a day late.
We are a day late. Yesterday
we're recording this on Tuesday instead of Monday.
Also, we're recording it in the evening instead of on lunch break.
That's true. We're just very late. I actually got a text. I don't know if he texted you, but he was like, no, Alibi on Labor Day? And I was like, oh, yeah.
No, sure is not an Alibi pod on Labor Day.
We did not get to podcast on Labor Day because Gabe had to go out of town.
Did, as I've mentioned before, one of the many, many sappy romantic things that I love to do. No.
Yeah, they kind of did me dirty on this one because they went to St. Louis or
Springfield.
I know that, Springfield. But they went to the restaurant that I wanted to go to.
Lambert's.
They went to Lambert's. When we were, actually, our first podcast was on a vacation to Branson, Missouri. We wanted to go to Lambert's on the way back. I specifically wanted to go to Lambert's on the way back. But we didn't get to it. We were like, yeah, we can come back some other time. And then Gabe and Ella went to Lambert's on their way to Springfield. And they didn't take me. They went and did something romantic instead.
It's worth noting that the other person who really wanted to go to Lambert's was Ella.
Yeah.
So I made it happen.
But not for me. I'm kind of sad about that. But anyway.
The home of throwed rolls. For anyone who doesn't know.
I think it would be thrown rolls, wouldn't it?
Grammatically, yes, but that's the slogan that they have on the side of their building.
Oh, the
home of throwed rolls.
Well, it's Missouri, so
it's Missouri.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy comes through with the cart of rolls, and you put your hand up, and he just throws the roll at you.
It's actually a core memory for me going to Lambert's because we used to have a relative in Branson, and so occasionally we'd go. And as a small child, of course, I loved rolls. I still love rolls, but
they're good rolls.
I would throw the rolls, and I would catch the roll. It was a core memory for me.
Formative moment,
yeah. And I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to go back to Branson or Springfield or wherever, just so I can go to Lambert's by myself. Apparently,
fun. Also new in my life this weekend, I got another tattoo.
Also fun.
Which you have no tattoos, correct?
Still no tattoos.
I have 2 tattoos, but I am but a tattoo baby.
Correct. Imagine I announced I had a tattoo on a podcast and Mom just finds out now. That would be funny.
We already determined that she doesn't necessarily always watch.
That's true. Yeah, we did. Anyway.
She would find out for sure,
she would.
But
she
also,
would
no tattoos yet.
No tattoos yet. I don't have any.
I got 2 tattoos, but as I said, I'm a tattoo baby. Not only is it only 2 tattoos, they are both very, very small tattoos. Small tattoos.
But now you got one on each side, right? Or?
Nope, both on the same hand. I have a heart on my wrist here, and then I have a cross on my finger here. The heart is matching with my wife. Got it on the wedding day.
Very romantic.
Cool, so cute. What a great thing to do on the wedding day. The cross I got this weekend. And also I got the heart touched up because we did our tattoo artist a little bit dirty at the wedding. We were like, hey, we both need tattoos. We want to do them at the wedding.
Yep.
Really fast, we got to go. And then also I did the other big no-no. I immediately went to the beach.
Womp womp.
Where despite, for honeymoon, where despite waterproof Band-Aids, wet still happens to the tattoo.
Facts.
So it was badly in need of a touch-up.
Dang.
Even though it's only been a couple months. So she also touched up that tattoo this weekend. And I thought to myself, I don't know how people do this.
Do what?
Insane tattoos. It doesn't hurt that bad, right?
Yeah.
The 2 tattoos that I have, they don't hurt that bad. But it's enough discomfort that when I think about someone who gets just Machine Gun Kelly,
like
for
a
example,
blackout or Ronnie Radke,
full blackout tattoo across their entire upper body, arms, hands, neck. Just the level of discomfort that I had getting this tiny tattoo on my wrist. It's not really painful per se.
Yeah.
But it's uncomfortable.
Sure.
For 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's kind of like a runner's high, I think, where you kind of just The pain, you know. And
That's
it's a
more
thing.
than a runner's high. That much and the needles that they use for a blackout too, like the big beat, that is adrenaline. Like
Now-
that's shock.
Yeah, the blackout, that's another level of crazy. I don't think I would ever want to do a blackout tattoo. But I don't know. As far as like sleeving and stuff, I still feel like a sleeve might be in my future.
Sure, I don't think I would do a sleeve, but that's also taste, in addition to pain level.
Well, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see what happens.
But like right when I'm getting the tattoo, I'm like, I don't know if I need any more tattoos. I don't know if I really want to do any big tattoos. But then like 10 minutes later, it's over, and you're like, yeah, I could handle something
That's right.
bigger.
Throw another
It's
one.
fine.
It's like women having children. Like, yeah, well, no, we can have another one. Something we should probably do is I should apologize.
Oh,
Last week on the pod, we talked about the video you sent me, the brain rot video.
Brain rot.
I said it wasn't funny. I was wrong. I showed it to the fam. I showed it to mom and dad and all the siblings, and they cracked up. And I kind of laughed at it a little bit too. I'm not gonna lie. Watching it again, I might have laughed at it, and they all laughed at it. So I guess it was in fact funny. So my apologies to the brain rot video. It was funny.
And
I
the
was wrong.
genre of brain rot entirely.
Well, I didn't. Did I diss the genre?
Yes.
Oh, well, my bad. It's all right.
It's not so bad.
No beef with brain rot. It's cool.
It's funny. Mm-hmm. In the vein of videos on TikTok, I sent you another video today. I don't know if you've watched it. Actually, I think you probably did watch it already.
Probably.
It was an interview. I wrote down the name of the guy, but of course I'm not going to be able to pronounce it because I have no idea who this is, but it sounds like he's an important person. Rami Yacoub?
Just don't try
Robbie
to pronounce
Yacoub?
that. I don't. Okay. Yeah, we get it.
Bottom line is he was a producer for pop music in like the 2000s and 2010s.
Sure.
And there was a particular song, I wrote down the name again, NSYNC,
Yeah.
It's Gonna Be Me.
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. Yeah, the way they pronounce that May.
It was viral on TikTok at the very end of April.
Basically, in the clip, he's talking about like, oh, the pronunciation of words, and like, oh, we take a pronunciation that maybe someone does accidentally, and then we like lean into it. And
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna lean into this like weird pronunciation. The May for me, for example.
Right.
And there were a couple of other examples in the clip. I think one was a Britney Spears song too.
Yeah.
Where they just pronounce things weird on purpose and like lean into it for the song. And like the co-host of like the
The little whatever they were
talk
doing.
that he was doing, the seminar was like, oh, like this is like a secret, like a life hack for producing music. Like,
Yeah.
it gets stuck in people's minds.
Make it
and it's so
iconic.
good. And
Sure.
I immediately was like, wow. So Tom from Blink 182 saw this and was like, yes, made it his whole
The
personality.
voice inside my head.
Just like my entire personality is now going to be this made up accent
Yep.
that is not real.
Nope, not even slightly. Yeah. I mean, it worked though.
It worked in one way or
Just be
another.
randomly going, the voice inside my. I don't know.
And then
Just
a whole
happens to me.
generation of emo vocalists copied it
They did.
and tried to do that.
Tonight
emo.
will be the night that I will fall for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, very fun. It's true.
I don't mind it too much.
Might have to throw a mispronunciation in one of my songs now.
Just
to see if it,
Rappers do it
everybody
too.
starts
It's
doing
been
it.
a thing. I mean, there was that viral clip too of Eminem talking about like mispronouncing words to make them rhyme with orange. Nothing rhymes with orange, but you can
Orange.
make orange.
Orange, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I have noticed that if you kind of say stuff lazy, sometimes you can get away with a rhyme that doesn't belong.
Doesn't rhyme.
Well, obviously, because, as far as perfect rhymes go, there's very few perfect rhymes.
It's part of the thing about music, and also like stacking words to achieve the semblance of rhymes sometimes.
Right. Eventually, you got to kind of lazy rhyme and just get away with it with swag.
I think sometimes that might actually even be harder for rappers than like pop singers. What do you think?
I don't know. What do you think? I don't know why that was funny to me, but you were
That's
just
a
like,
take.
what do you think? Yeah. Harder for rappers than pop singers? No. Well, yes.
Because they have to lean into the rhythm and the rhyme of the words.
I think, again, yes, but no. I think rappers lazy rhyme all the time. And they kind of need to a lot more because there's a lot more rhymes in their songs versus a pop song where you might have like 2 rhymes in the verse and then 4 rhymes in the chorus and
Right.
it's
Just rhyming the end of the line.
versus like having to put 30 rhymes into the first verse as a rapper. So you have to kind of find ways around it and lazy rhyme and stuff like that and kind of half pronounce words or say it in a certain way to try to make it fit sometimes as a rapper in a way that singers don't have to do necessarily as much. So I don't think it's really harder for rappers. Singers might be able to get away with it because they can draw out the word a little bit more. But again, that's sort of something rappers do as well when they kind of chop up the word a little bit to fit the flow.
It's become a thing for pop singers, and I think it might be partially because of like just the weakness of pop music as a genre over the last 10 years, but like using sustain as a crutch. Like, just because you see this sometimes with, if you listen to like indie artists, and sometimes you'll listen to a song and you'll be like, wow, this has got potential, but it's not like a pop hit song. And part of the problem
Are you talking
is
about
just,
syllable count? This is my pet peeve, or one of many.
Yes, syllable count is definitely a big part of this.
Yeah.
Where not only syllable count, although that is a big part, but
Huge
also like not rhyming or having not perfect rhymes, imperfect rhymes, or even partial rhymes and stuff that they just make up for with like melody. Like using melody as an excuse.
It doesn't work
for lazy writing or maybe just not very good writing. Like, it's not necessarily lazy. Maybe they just didn't find the right thing.
Sure. Yeah. Just not quite done kind of situation. I don't know. I think that it's kind of you can tell the difference between a professional or a good songwriter or a well-written song versus an amateur by things like that, like syllable count, and trying to kind of gloss over the fact that you couldn't make the song fit, like you couldn't find the right puzzle piece to bring it all together.
And also the difference, I think there's a meaningful difference between sustain and melody.
Yeah.
These single note melodies that you hear a lot, or like 2-note melodies, which like we're just like drawing a word out. It's something also with like rappers that are just starting to get into like melodic stuff
vibes,
and stuff like that. And you and I were in like indie rap spaces, so we got to see some of those artists for sure. But it also happens with big rappers when they start getting into like singing and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll start relying on like single note melodies where they just draw out one word or phrase over a note, and it's not really good melody. It's not compelling.
Sure. Speaking of the indie rappers in the space that we were in, I went today and one of them showed up on my feed. Still doing it, still pursuing it, I guess. Still probably about where he was however many years ago when we were talking at all. They cannot figure this specifically out. Like, you can't just kind of try to make up for it. Like, you've got to keep a flow. Like, there's just no flow is what it is. Like, you can't make up for bad syllable count by rushing at the end. There's just, you got to maintain the way the song moves. And if you can't find that or tap into that, then your song is always going to sound like you're a noob, even if you have good mixing and mastering and record on a nice microphone and all the processing
People
and stuff.
start like improving their mixing by paying other people to do it.
Right.
And then they get like a better microphone and stuff, but it doesn't make up for the fact that like that syllable count is not dialed in.
Yeah,
that
you can't fix
one of the
bad
things.
writing with high quality production.
Also, if your syllable count is weak and you decide, hey, since I, for some reason, can't seem to write songs with good rhythm, I'll just make melodic music with auto-tune.
Yeah.
It's not going to fix it for you.
No. I think sometimes you can get away with mix matching syllable count in the flow, but again, there's a way to do it so it doesn't break up the flow, so it feels natural and it fits there. And
ironically, like Eminem is known for that.
Yeah, sort of. But again, there's a way to pull it off.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, it's either you got it or you don't got it, and you don't got it, to quote NF, but yeah, I don't know.
Today we're talking about music, which we've not talked about so much in the last episodes.
We really haven't. No.
I've got more things to say
Let's do
in
it.
line with that. Another type of music that Jonathan and I are very involved in is worship music.
Worship music.
Specifically at our church.
At our church, yeah.
John normally plays drums.
Most of the time.
I usually play keys, play
Most
piano.
every time, yeah.
And I also play like an auxiliary keyboard, a little smaller.
You've got the whole rig. No
with
need to brag
synths and
about
whatnot. And then I'm also the MD, music director.
Absolutely. Very
which
important.
means that I have a microphone that can only be heard by the other members of the band.
That's right. It means you're in
Right.
charge as long as I do what you want me to do.
Right, I help conduct.
He's
the
in
music.
charge, but I have the real power, you know? If
To
I don't-
anyone who doesn't know what he's talking about, if the MD says, all right, we're going to have a quiet moment where everyone just sings and I play piano, and the drummer says, no, we're not.
We're
I'm
building
gonna
right
just,
now. Yeah.
Like, start going crazy. The
band just kind of has to follow the drummer
yeah, the drummer really,
because you can't turn
Has
it
that
down
power.
like that, you know?
which is why you and I have to be greatly in tune.
Locked in. It's all right. We've been doing it for some years now, so.
I saw a video this week that went, let's say, Christian viral,
Okay.
not real viral,
Sure.
but viral in the Christian space, talking about worship electric guitarists.
Mm.
We have a love-hate relationship with our worship electric guitarists, just as a whole.
All of
Across the church, you
Okay.
know, there's great ones and there's not so great ones. We have
Sure.
been blessed with some great ones in our life, I think.
And and some.
We've encountered the not so
wild
great
ones.
ones over
Yeah.
the time. You know, things
Yep.
happen both ways.
We've been there.
But like it basically was like worship electric guitar stereotypes per se.
Sure,
Like
yeah.
the different types of them. There's the one who just learns the parts exactly as you want, dials in the tones, and does whatever the MD tells him to do.
I think we know that
We
guy.
have our favorite worship electric guitarist. His name is Alex.
We love Alex.
Love Alex.
Love you,
so
Alex.
much. He does just that. He learns
does.
the part exactly as you tell him.
And he can also improvise too, or change quick on his feet if you need him to.
He's very,
So
very
he will
adaptable.
do it exactly as you want, unless you ask him to change it. In which case, he'll still do whatever you want. You know.
Exactly.
Love Alex.
And then the second best one is kind of the OG.
Sure.
Who maybe didn't even listen to the song. Hopefully they did listen to the song, but like
Me as
they-
a drummer,
as a drummer,
just
didn't even
plays
listen, just plays it,
whatever
yeah.
fits, but it does.
It's easier
fit.
on drums though to do that. I think.
true.
I know a lot
Because
more.
there are electric guitar parts more than there are drum
right.
parts.
The drums kind of do the same thing in most.
It's one of like
most
three
music,
things.
period.
You know?
But in worship music, for sure, there's
Yeah.
kind of lanes that they stay in. But the vets, you know, the veterans, they'll come in, they'll maybe hear the song one time or just pick up on it during practice or
Yeah.
rehearsal, and they'll be able to improvise pretty well. They'll stay in key,
Yeah.
they'll fill things up. If
Yeah.
there is a part that you need,
They can
hopefully
play the
like
part.
electric guitar 2 knows it, or
I mean,
or
sometimes
you
they
can-
can- they're
you
good
can
enough that they can
sometimes
just
sing
play
it to them and then they'll play it.
Yeah.
They're like da na 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 na, and then they're just rip it, let it rip.
It's great. Yeah.
We also have
We
some
know
of
that
those.
guy.
We know that guy also. We have some of those at our church.
Sure.
And then there's the third one in the video was, you know, very passionate, very excited about it.
Yep.
Kind of mid.
Uh,
That's me on electric guitar. I'm growing. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
You know, I've been really studying it the last couple months, but that's kind of
Sure.
me. Just passionate, excited about it,
but
and
doing what you can.
and just barely getting by sometimes.
Yep. It happens. Everybody starts somewhere.
I'm
It's-
getting better though.
It's
Sometimes
just sad
keep
when
it
people
simple.
have. It's just sad when people have been that guy for several years.
Yeah, well, not everyone is a great musician.
Yeah.
We
It's best to acknowledge that if you're not.
it's
and
hard,
find your
though.
gifting.
Really, just practice.
Yeah,
we
just
don't
practice.
we don't have any of those at our church.
No. I should. Speaking of practice and being a great musician, I think people don't realize this, but talent is not all that. It's really not. Talent is just how fast you can learn, how quickly it clicks for you, because it's all practice. When you see a good musician, and it's usually people who aren't musicians who are like, "Oh, you're so talented," because musicians know. No, you practice that a lot.
Yeah.
You learned that. You figured it out. And talent might mean you can figure it out quicker, or it takes less practice to kind of get it. But when you see a musician or an artist of any kind doing something really well, that's not talent that you're watching, that's skill. Skill and talent are not the same. Skill
Yes.
is any level of talent leveled up with practice and dialed in by repeating and getting your reps into that was redundant. But
Your 10,000 hours.
dialing it in, yeah, locking in, practicing, and figuring it out. So a good musician is a skilled musician, made mostly by practice and different levels of talent. But talent doesn't matter. So if you want to be a musician, you can probably learn it. This has been my TED Talk for the day.
You just got deep there. That was good. That was really good.
Thank you. I was cooking one night. Cooking.
That was good. You were cooking.
Oh, speaking of cooking, are we ready to transition yet, or did you have more to say?
I was going to talk about worship mixing, worship sound guys next.
Oh, wow.
Is that a conversation for another day?
I don't know. I was just speaking of cooking. I've done a lot of cooking today.
Today?
Today I did, yeah, because it was my day off, right? You know,
Okay.
Tuesday,
Yeah,
take
not
the
working.
day off, chilling, and because of my diet that I'm semi sticking to and cheat on most podcasts, I went to the store with Mom, got some stuff.
What store? Like Walmart?
Aldi,
or
actually,
Aldi. Aldi,
Which-
good.
Well, a little bunny trail for Aldi. The quarter in the cart thing is really stupid, but also freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Because it's
walks the
dumb.
line.
Like nobody is like that. Doesn't matter what kind of deterrent from leaving carts out is that. But what it is first of all, it's iconic. That's different. Gets people's attention. That's brilliant marketing because it's Aldi with this little
That's the
quarter in the
cart
cart.
quarter place.
Yeah, it sticks in people's heads, just like pronouncing a word different in a song, I guess. People just recognize it. And second of all, it kind of attracts a very specific crowd who feels like, yes, I do want to shop at a upstanding, safe. It's like feels like a clean environment almost because everybody, stays up to the standard and is, putting their carts back and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like
But-
it's not an incentive that you actually need the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's just I'm not gonna be the lazy bum.
Yeah, that's right.
Who breaks
it builds
the
up.
system.
Yeah, it builds up standard in people's heads. But anyway, that was a bunny trail. So we went to Aldi, got some stuff. I got some fruit, of course, and I actually still have some stuff from my last Aldi run. I had some turkey. So today I had some steak. It was like sirloin tips or whatever.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know. I had 4 of them. Threw them on the grill. Which, by the way, caught the grill on fire, low key, because I
overdid it.
I just turned up the thing and dialed up all the heat, because that stuff is super thin and it cooks in like 2 seconds.
Right.
So you just want to get it super hot, so you get any kind of like a sear or whatever
Yeah,
on
the
it.
sear is important.
And you're not gonna really get sear, but I don't know. At least I didn't. But I got it super hot in there, and like the grill was on fire inside of it, low key, and I just threw it on, and then like 30 seconds basically flipped it, gave it a couple more seconds, took it off, but it was good. It's in the fridge, so that's
I've
great.
been making steaks. I've made steaks a couple times in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
And obviously at my apartment there is a grill downstairs that you
Yeah.
can go use if you want to, but I'm sure it's nice, but that's not really my vibe. I've been making
Pan sear.
pan searing the
Yeah.
steaks, yeah. Which I season the heck out of them. Like,
Absolutely.
so much seasoning on them, which you should
a
do.
good thing.
And then you
It's a
cook it
good
in a
thing.
lot of butter and then like all the good stuff.
Some people don't think you should season your steak like that. Just a little bit
I
of
know.
salt and a little pepper.
I've heard
But
that.
we're seasoning people.
We are
You
seasoning
can't
people.
blame us.
Don't
Anyway,
let the
carry on.
complexion of my skin deceive you.
Okay. Carry on with the story.
It's not really a story. I made it really good, but I overcooked it. Not like overcooked it. I like my steaks rare, not medium rare. Rare.
Like, a good vet could bring that back. Kind of rare.
Maybe. My wife, on the other hand, she likes it medium, airing maybe slightly towards medium well.
That's kind of where I am.
So I was nervous that I was going to make it too rare for her. So I accidentally made it too well for myself.
Womp
Now,
womp.
she said it was delicious and she loved it. And I was like, well, next time I'm just going to take mine off a little bit early.
Yeah,
Like, I'm just going to cook them different. It'll be all right.
I've definitely overcooked steaks before.
It's easy to do.
I was trying to use a thermometer because I am honestly still guessing. Whenever I cook a steak, I'm like, I have no idea what this temperature is going to be. Can't
I wonder
really.
if that keeps on forever.
I don't know. I've never gone off of time. Like, it's just kind of feeling like maybe that'll get there, or I go based off the crust. Like, when it feels like it's done, all right. And I mean, usually I get close. I'm not exactly consistent, but I think I'm usually close, except for there was one time where I got out the meat thermometer and I was like, all right, we're going to try to dial this in a little bit. And I looked up whatever is the temperature for medium And so I stuck in the thermometer, and it wasn't getting there, and it wasn't getting there. I was like, wow, this is taking a long time. And I finally took it off, and that joint was a hockey puck, bro. It was a piece of charcoal. It was so well done. I just threw it away. Waste of a good steak.
Yeah.
So now I don't use a thermometer. I just don't know. And
I was cooking like a New
usually
York
that's right.
strip last week, and so I just Googled, just like for peace of mind, I Googled, how long should you cook each side for a New York strip to get a sear, and I was like, for rare, it was like 7 to 8 minutes, and I was like, ain't no way. Like, this joint is going to be overdone.
7 to 8 minutes sounds about right, actually.
No,
Yeah.
I did like 6 minutes, and that's the same steak I was just talking about. It was medium well for sure.
Oh, I don't know. I guess it depends. Probably depends on
It's
like
got to
the heat
depend
and
on
stuff.
heat and like also
The
the
oil,
size of the
a lot
steak.
of
I mean,
stuff,
I know
yeah.
a New York strip is pretty consistent, but
I don't know.
bringing back this conversation to what we mentioned earlier about TikToks, watching TikToks, I saw
Yeah.
a TikTok about how to cook a steak, and they were like, this is just like a unique strategy. This is different.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I've seen like the 500 ways to cook a steak videos, so this is not going to be different, but go ahead.
Sure, you've probably seen something like this. I don't know. It might take you by surprise. I'm sure
Okay,
you've seen
what
this,
is
though,
it?
if you've seen 500 ways. They basically put it in like a Ziploc or something.
Yeah.
Put it in boiling water.
Sous vide it.
To get it cooked, so it's cooked through before they even sear it.
It's called sous vide.
Already
Carry
don't
on.
like
Yeah.
that, right? And then
No, sous vide is good.
it's fine.
I've never tried it. It feels like it's probably good. Anyway,
It's probably fine. I
Yeah.
don't know.
you got to sear it afterward, but it cooks the inside.
For the sear afterwards, slather it in mayonnaise on both sides.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's gross.
Because
but-
apparently mayonnaise is fatty and will burn off, is what they say. It won't taste
Well, it's
like
a lot
mayonnaise at all. It's just the fat from the mayonnaise that matters.
Okay.
And the fat's going to help you get that good sear, right? And then you just sear it with
Yeah.
mayonnaise and eat it like that.
Did it look good?
It looked all right in the video.
I'm sure it was fine.
I was like, maybe I want to try it, but also, no, I don't want to try it. Also, could you do that with peanut butter? Peanut butter is fatty.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's different.
Sounds disgusting.
It's different. I think. I don't know. Also,
Hey, we've got a couple more minutes. I have another question. What were you going to say also?
Well, I was gonna carry on because I also cooked some turkey meatballs for today. But that's not important. I was going to say, speaking of food TikToks,
Oh,
I saw a QCP video. It was on Instagram, not TikTok, but same thing. He made chicken and waffles, which
And now
really
here we are.
inspired me. We're gonna go.
as soon as we get off this pod,
we're gonna go
we're
make
making
chicken and waffles.
spicy fried
That's
chicken
right, yeah.
and waffles.
Which brings me to another thing, but you go first because we got a limited time. What
We
was
got
your
like
question?
3 minutes left.
What was the question?
I was going to ask you about when you went to the store earlier.
Yeah.
And you got some fruit.
Yeah,
What fruits did you get?
mango and blackberries.
What is the best fruit?
The best fruit, probably pears. Actually,
Pears?
do melons count? Are we counting melon?
For the sake of argument,
Probably
sure.
watermelon is the best fruit.
Watermelon is
Overall,
the best fruit.
goated fruit, watermelon. Number 2, either pear, probably pear, and then mango, because mango's a little bit strong. It's not for everybody. You can kind of
I
get
really
behind.
like mango.
I
Mango
love
is up
mango.
there.
Mango might be number 1.
I think what we might need to do is next week we're going to make a top 10 fruits
We can do that.
ranking.
And
like
we will
we
be
did with the
correct.
cereals.
Actually, we might not be correct. I'm not as
It's
confident.
hard.
I might have to do like in no particular order. In no particular order: watermelon, mango, pear. I don't know. Probably apple.
Here's
is
what you
iconic,
do.
so
You
it's
come
in
up
there,
with a
but-
full, in no particular order, make it 10 or 15.
'Kay.
And then I'll like whittle it down to 10, and then we're going to have to rank.
and then we'll rank it. All right,
Down.
that sounds good. That'll be fun. We'll do that.
That's how we're going to start off next week. Okay, you had one more thing?
What did I have?
You said you had one more thing.
Was it the food TikTok? I thought it might have been the chicken and. Oh no. Well, we were out. Mom and I always stopped by Taco Bell, mostly to
Okay.
get the Diablo sauce. I love their Diablo sauce. It's my favorite hot sauce.
Fun little story one time. He asked me when, I don't know where he was that he wasn't able to like go to Taco Bell at the time.
Yeah.
But he asked me, he was like, hey, can you go to Taco Bell one of these days for your
Yep.
lunch break and get me some Diablo sauce? And I was like, that's fine. Like I could go for Taco Bell. It's pretty good.
Sure.
We're going to have to talk about Taco Bell menu items sometime also.
Yeah.
But so I went to Taco Bell and I just told the guy at the window, I was like, can you give me just like an inappropriate amount of Diablo sauce? Like so much. And they gave me literally a bag. Just
Yeah.
like,
What I do is I go in to dine in, and I order something and I just like fill my pockets with Diablo sauce. But what I did today, which I did do that today, but today I ordered, quesadillas like $7.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
$6. It's crazy. Anyway, so I went to the value menu and they have some sort of like stack quesadilla like thing. I don't know what it is, but it's folded over. It's like a quesadilla,
Yeah.
but it's the beef instead of the chicken and a different sauce. So what I did, and it's like half the price. So I just substituted for the quesadilla sauce, which is like 60 cents extra, and got a quesadilla for half the price, pretty much.
Cook it.
It was good. Yeah,
Yes,
I thought it
sir.
was. This is a hack, guys. You
This
can
is
try
a
it.
life hack.
If you want the chicken, it is a bit more of an upcharge. It's gonna bring you closer to the price already. But I mean, with the beef, it was good. Regular seasoned beef quesadilla. I liked it. I thought it was good. But
So consider this a teaser. Next week, ranking fruits,
that's right.
ranking Taco Bell menu items.
Talking about Taco Bell.
If we could make it happen, maybe we should get some Taco Bell to eat on the pod.
That would be a good idea. Also, we're going to talk about worship music mixing.
And we'll talk about worship mixing, which is a dangerous, a scary subject.
Dangerous subject. But anyway, that's 30 minutes for today.
That's
so
episode 6.
We'll see y'all later.